Excuse me. You're Todd.
Nice to meet you.
You have a nice innocence about you.
It's 978.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll try and hug you with my non-cast arm.
What happened?
I'll text you and we'll figure something out.
Okay.
Nice to meet you.
What do you do when you see a beautiful girl, but it's an impossible situation? Like you just have a short elevator ride together, or you're late for work, or she's in a huge rush. Most guys make an excuse and do nothing, but it's actually very possible to get a solid phone number in less than a minute. In fact, it's simple and I do it all the time. About a decade ago, I set myself a challenge to get as many phone numbers as I possibly could in 2 hours. Here's how that challenge went.
55.
Yeah. I'll text you in a second.
What, 323?
Get to talk to a girl before. No, we don't do handshakes. You and I know handshakes. I'll take your number and then maybe in a couple hours.
Okay.
Perfect. What is your number, dear?
It is 97.
Time, 6:17. End.
I actually ended up getting 23 numbers in those 2 hours. And ever since I recently reposted the video, guys have been asking me tons of questions about what I did and how I did it. So in this video, I'm gonna show you a technique I call the 60-second number close, and then I'm gonna show you an uncut example of me using this technique to get a fast number. But before I show you the technique, I wanna address some questions I get all the time about these fast numbers. First question guys ask me constantly are, what's the point? Are these numbers even solid? Do these girls actually follow up? And that's a very valid question, because when I did this challenge 10 years ago, I literally thought I was doing a circus stunt. I thought I was just getting a bunch of numbers and I expected them all to be unsolid and flaky. And I was shocked, because out of the 23 phone numbers, with me just texting Todd to them after, just as like a perfunctory thing to make sure I wasn't cheating when getting the number, just off texting Todd, I got 8 replies back and 3 girls saying, let's hang out tonight or when are you free? And this is again with no text game and no extra effort. The next question I hear all the time is, Todd, would this still work today? Because that was 10 years ago. And that's also a valid question. My answer for that is yes and no. I actually think it's easier to get fast contacts today than it was 10 years ago, but a lot of those contacts will probably be Instagram rather than phone number. Instagram has become so much more popular over the last 10 years that nowadays girls will actually hand out their Instagram like candy. So a lot of times in these quick interactions, they'll even close you with an Instagram. But if you insist on a number, you may get pushback. And any kind of pushback or friction in these quick interactions can be a real problem. So in terms of getting contacts, actually even easier, and you might be able to get more today. In terms of getting phone numbers, I think you would actually get pushback and it would be hard to get as many. The next question I get all the time, and this is actually the point of the video and the topic of the video, is how do I actually get these numbers so fast? And I will get to that in just a second. But before I can tell you how to get the number fast, I have to tell you how to get a number at all. So stick with me for just a second through that part. In order to get a solid number at all, there are essentially 4 stages of an interaction that need to occur. The first is the open. You need to start the conversation. The second is what I call premise, which means making it clear that the interaction is man to woman in nature. You're not a stranger, you're not a friend, you're not buying something from her. You are a man and she is a woman. The next stage is evaluation. This is the part where you indicate to her that there's some reason beyond her physical appearance why this interaction is special and she has earned a follow-up or a phone number exchange from you. And then the fourth part is actually closing. You need to have these 4 steps in order to reliably get a solid number. If you don't have those 4 steps, she's probably going to say no to the number or probably just flake afterwards. So now that we explained how to get a phone number in general, let me now show you how to accelerate the process. This is how you do the 60-second number close.
Excuse me. Sorry. That was hilarious. I'm sorry. I literally don't have time to talk to anyone but you. I love your look. It's so sporty and interesting. I didn't mean to scare you.
No, you're fine. I was like blasting music.
It was actually kind of hilarious.
Yeah.
Who are you? What's your... Nice to meet you, Todd.
Nice to meet you.
You are very, you have a nice innocence about you.
That's nice.
Yeah. Are you from here?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I am... Literally, I was running to go to work, but I was like, I have to meet this girl. There's something in her essence. Are you a spontaneous person?
Spontaneous person? In what way?
In like spontaneously, potentially grabbing a drink with a handsome stranger? Not right this second, but obviously when we both have time.
Well, I don't drink.
You don't drink?
No.
Okay, I like that actually. So smoothie, coffee, healthy sandwich, or walk on the beach.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay, let's do it. I'll take your number. I wish I had more time to talk to you because you seem actually really cool. Yeah. I like your vibe.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's see here.
Where are you from?
I split time between here and New York.
It's 978.
Okay, hang on. I got that. Okay. 978. Thanks. I am Todd.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you. I'll try and hug you with my non-cast arm.
What happened?
Step 1, lean super heavily on your time constraint. You are legitimately time constrained. You are in a hurry. By definition, if you weren't, you shouldn't be trying to get a number in under 60 seconds anyway. So since you have this, don't make it a detriment, use it as an advantage. Scarcity sells. Limited time offers work. When somebody is considering buying something and they say later, later means never. So use the fact that you're short on time to get someone to make a decision right now. When I'm doing the open in a 60-second number close, I will either open and immediately use my time constraint. Hey, excuse me, I gotta go in a second, but, or sometimes I'll even open with the time constraint. I'll say, hey, excuse me, I literally don't even have time to talk to you, but, and then go into the scenario. By having this time constraint, I do a lot of things. Number 1, it gives me permission to get to the point quickly. It gives me permission to be urgent and even talk fast through the rest of the interaction if necessary. And number 2, it justifies why I'm closing too soon later on. It justifies the social error I'm gonna make about 60 seconds into the interaction. Next, open with something that gets to the point. In game in general, you often have a choice of a lot of different openers. You can go with a direct opener where you say to the girl you're interested right away, or you can go with an indirect opener that's conversational. You can go with a teasing opener. What you need to do when you're limited on time is you need to get to the point right away. So you need to open either with something that says, I am interested in meeting you, or with a tease that gets her attention, and then immediately from her reaction to the tease say, I am interested in potentially meeting you. You don't have time to beat around the bush. You need to go direct. And yes, by doing this, you will get a certain amount of extra, I have a boyfriend objections and things like that. That's the downside of direct game, but we're time constrained. We only have 60 seconds. We have to work within that time constraint, so you have to get to the point. No beating around the bush. The third step is the most important and most overlooked, and that's because this is the step that seems counterintuitive to getting a fast number. It's the step that seems like you're slowing down, but you're actually not. And what this step is, it's evaluating the girl. It's finding out something about her beyond her looks, why you actually like her. And in a quick number close situation, you actually don't have time necessarily to find out anything that's all that special about the girl. So you sometimes have to manufacture it. You have to just kind of state this is what you noticed or state this is what is interesting about her. But if you leave out this step, it will slow you down massively and or mean you don't get a number at all. Because either the interaction won't make sense or she will feel that things are incomplete and she'll have this urge to find out more about you or urge to test you before giving you the number. So in a practical sense, when you're doing a quick number close, you can just mention something like, you know what, you actually seem to have a good vibe, so I guess I'll take your number. Or you know what, you're actually surprisingly fun to talk to, so I guess I'll take her number. It doesn't have to be something where you put up a hoop, she jumped through it, she actively tried to win you over, like would be the case in an ideal situation, because you just don't have the time, but you need to speak it into existence. You need to at least refer to the idea that she impressed you somewhere in the interaction, and that's why you're getting the number. And then finally, you obviously have to close. There is no number unless you ask for the number. And when I say ask for the number, and this is true for all number closes, not just fast ones, the more confident you are, the more assumptive you are, the better off you're gonna do. You do not say, can I please have your number? You say, you know what, I guess I'll take your number. Or in a rushed scenario, maybe, I wish I had more time, but I guess I'll just have to exchange numbers. Something like that. You want to be assumptive, you want to be confident, you do want to get to the point. So that's the method, but there's one more crucial thing you need to know, which is the mentality. I actually developed this method because I was on my way to go give a speech about taking action and not making excuses. I was in Vegas and I took an elevator down to the lobby and the hottest girl walked into the elevator next to me and I knew I had probably 30 seconds to talk to her, if even that, and I knew that I had to run because I was already late for my speech. But given what my speech was about, there was no way I wasn't gonna take action. It just seemed hypocritical not to do so. And so I rushed and I literally said, I literally have no time to talk to you. I'm about to go give a speech. People are waiting for me, but there's something about you that makes me want to get to know you. Let's do this. And so I actually literally invented in that moment. And that sort of like urgency, desire, and total refusal to make an excuse for yourself is absolutely critical. That's the mentality you need to have when doing this. If you go and say, hey, I have no time to talk to you, and you're like, hi, I don't have any time to talk to you, it's not going to work. You have to be in the right headspace. It has to be congruent. So that's how you get a fast phone number. And by the way, 60 seconds is just a number. Sometimes it'll be 30 seconds, sometimes it'll be 90 seconds. It doesn't always go exactly perfectly to plan, but if you have the right attitude, do follow these steps, you're gonna get a lot of very fast numbers that will actually be surprisingly solid. And if you're curious to see the original 23 phone numbers in 2 hours video, I'll put a link for you in the description and in the comments. You can check it out there. Thanks for being here. See you next time.